Guys, so we're back again with another reading, and today we are going to be figuring out what is next for you in love. So what is going to be coming up for you in love? What do you have to look forward to, and what's going to be going on next in your love life? We're going to be getting into all of it, and today we have a beautiful selection of dishes for you guys to choose from. So these are kind of like different soups, and of course, if you've been here before, you know the drill. As soon as you've made up your mind, you can just scroll down to the timestamps in the comments and the description and jump right into your pile. If it's your first time watching one of my videos, welcome. And basically I do pick a card readings, but I use fake food a lot of times instead of cards. So you're going to make up your mind by just using your intuition and feeling which of the soups is just calling your attention in, calling your energy in. It's not necessarily the one you would order in a restaurant. It's just the one that just seems to be calling your vibe in. And then as soon as you've made up your mind, just scroll down to the timestamps in the comments and the description, and that will be the pile with the message for you. Let me show you guys the numbers on each of the different dishes. So this is pile number 1, then we have pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. I do want to mention to you guys as well that I do have my Patreon up with a ton of additional readings. I just posted one all about what your family members and ancestors think of you, what messages they have for you. So that's a really deep one. But as soon as you sign up for my Patreon, you get access to all my readings. So over 55 additional readings about love, family, career, spirituality, romance, 18 plus readings, tipsy readings, relocation, spirituality, future life, past lives, so many different topics. Like I said, over 55 different topics. So there's lots of pick it cards over there if you want to see more of my content, and you can just head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description to join me on Patreon. I'd absolutely love to see you there. And if you guys want to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and you can sign up for a half hour or a full hour-long session with me, have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel mediumship or intuitively, and you can get a pre-recorded reading, a live reading, love reading, career reading, your ahead reading, energy check-in reading. There's lots of different options, and you get to really decide what we talk about during your session. It's your time, so within reason, of course, but most things are totally allowed to ask about. So if you would like to book a session with me, like I said, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Now, if you need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, take as much time as you need, but we're gonna go ahead and jump into pile 1. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. So if you guys picked this egg dish, this is going to be your reading. It looks super delicious, kind of runny looking, and it has maybe a little pooling of soy sauce on the top and some chives, but it looks really good if you like a little bit of a runny egg, which I do. Anyways, guys, let's get into your cards. You guys got the Knight of Swords, King of Cups, the Hierophant reversed, 6 of Wands, and the 3 of Wands. So it's really great off the bat when we get 2 character cards for me, or court cards for me, that says that this is definitely going to be a relationship in your future, and probably someone who is very emotionally intelligent as well as being like book smart, mentally intelligent. You know what I mean? So they kind of got both. They're not one of those people who's like a nerd and doesn't really know how to have a conversation or what to do when you're crying, but they're not too emotional to the point where they wouldn't know how to like manage their taxes or something like that. I feel like this person is probably an incredible conversationalist, probably very curious about the world, probably always wanting to learn something new or like try something new, explore something. They kind of are giving me that vibe of like someone who might be like an assistant professor in a college or something like that. You know what I mean? Someone who just might even come off a little bit nerdy, but in a really cool, curious way. Like they probably wouldn't be into whatever mainstream band everyone else is listening to. And if you're like, oh, what band is that? They might be like, oh, it's this really cool German band from the 1960s. Yeah, I'm obsessed with it, and like know all this information. And you're like, wow, okay, like that's not the answer I was expecting. You know, maybe you just listen to like the top 40 or whatever, but it's kind of cool to learn from this person, and they just seem to know a lot. They seem to be, like I said, very curious, very open to the world. They probably wouldn't just be taking you out to eat at like whatever normal restaurant that everyone else wants to go to, like Applebee's or Chili's or whatever. I know I'm always like bashing those restaurants. No offense to them. I know they're great, but they might want to try like Ethiopian food or like a very specific type of Chinese food, and they know all about the history, and maybe they even speak a little bit of the language because they're studying up on it. Like they feel like they are very like smart, intelligent. They might be highly educated, I wouldn't be surprised, or they might work at a job that like requires a very smart person. So like working in tech, or even, I don't know, they don't seem to me, their energy doesn't seem as argumentative as a lawyer, because I did work in law, so I kind of know the vibe. A lot of lawyers are argumentative by nature, but they could be one of those like good lawyers who's just very curious about things and just likes the study of law. But yeah, they seem like someone who's very good natured. Honestly, I feel like this person's probably really laid back and chill and very emotionally supportive of you. I feel like they would be someone who wouldn't put a ton of like crazy expectations or old-fashioned expectations on you, where they might have ideas that like, oh, a woman has to always be in the kitchen or something crazy like that. I feel like they would be the kind of person who would be totally cool if, you didn't want to cook at all, or if their partner wanted to do something a little bit different, I guess. Like they seem like they're someone who's very fair and balanced, and someone who's very like chill and forward thinking in a way. So not someone who is going to like try to have power struggles in the relationship or try to prove that they're the one in charge or anything like that. They seem like someone who's very like enlightened and would probably, like I said, be very emotionally supportive as well. Of course, with the two energies that we have for the court cards, that's air, and then we have water. So with air, that would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and with water, it would be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So they may have one or the other of these energies, but they might kind of hide their more watery emotional side behind this intelligent side. So it's not to say that they're like cagey about this, but I just feel like people might not know that this person is a little bit of a softie until they really get to know them. They might not know that they like, still cry when they think of their like childhood golden retriever, or that they have like a really it's like crazy close connection to their grandmother, and they drive an hour to visit their grandmother at the nursing home every single month. I feel like they come across just kind of cool, chill. It's almost giving me Aquarian vibes, because we did get the Hierophant reverse, which I'll get to in a minute. But I feel like it's giving a little bit Aquarius vibes, which can come off a little like, well, all air can come off a little cold or a little head in the clouds, a little like it's not a super emotional energy. But underneath that, underneath the kind of like, oh, I don't know, I'm chill, like they're actually very emotional, and they're very loyal, and they get very connected to things, and they do have like a much softer side. I just feel like most people might just meet them and be like, oh yeah, they're really great to talk to, and they're a great conversationalist, and they're a lot of fun, and not realize that this person actually cares a lot and takes a lot of things to heart. And I do feel like this person will be very romantic, and they might like really want to spoil you with gifts or acts of service or something like that. They might be the kind of person who is just very lovey-dovey when they're in the relationship and like wants to go above and beyond. And I am hearing for some of you guys, this person might like text you a lot, which some of you, if you're not into that, if you're like, I don't really need the good morning text, I don't really need to be texted all the time, I'm sure you could have that conversation with this person, but I don't feel like they do it in a demanding way. I feel like they do it in a way that they just might text you like random photos of their day, or just be like, hey, what are you doing? And if you don't respond for a few hours, they're not going to be mad. They're not going to be like, well, you have better things to do, huh? It's not like some weird test or anything. It's like they're going to be super chill about it, and they're going to just kind of want to like check in with you and see what you're doing, and they're just doing it out of curiosity and like openness. Again, I feel like this person's actually really sweet and really understanding. They're probably someone that like, if you guys got in a fight, that they would be quick to forgive or even be the first to apologize, and just really want that like peaceful, happy. And I could see you guys driving around. This is so funny, but they're showing me the image of this couple like going for a road trip to explore like an old pizza restaurant like an hour away. So I don't know who this is or what specifically this applies to, but I feel like there's this vibe of like going on road trips or exploring, or both of you guys being curious about like loving to explore old malls or loving to explore like vintage restaurants from the 1940s that have like that design, or from the 70s or 80s that like have a very vaporwave aesthetic or something. But like this curiosity and this like adventurousness that this person has, where like they always got a plan, they've always got something going on. They're never just like, I don't feel like they're giving me like bump on a log energy where they're just like whatever, like jaded about the world. They're always open and they always want to learn and want to do things. So we did get the Hierophant reverse, and with the Hierophant reverse, this person like might love to be outside the norm a little bit. They might have tattoos, they might have very unique hair, or like a cool way of dressing. I am picking up on like kind of like a 70s aesthetic. I keep seeing 70s aesthetic type things, so they might even dress in like a 70s type way, or love music from the 70s, or just have like that 70s vibe of like, you know, back in the day with the wide leg pants and the like cropped close cut t-shirts that like have band names on it, you know what I mean, like a 70s type of style, or even wearing 70s hair. But I feel like, again, they like to do things a little bit different. I don't feel like this person is like someone you would meet all the time, or someone that you would they would just like have a 9 to 5 and be super boring and dress the same as everyone else and like have the same aesthetic as everyone else. And it doesn't feel to me like they worry too much about fitting in, or that they're super concerned with what other people think about them. I feel like they really are an independent and free thinker, and they really are someone who kind of marches to the beat of their own drum. So I think with you, they might even like encourage you, like if there's been things that you've been insecure about like doing your own thing with, like where you're like, oh, I'd really like to wear that outfit out, but like if I wear that, I know everyone's gonna stare because it's like it's a really cute dress, but it's kind of over the top, and everyone's gonna be like looking at me when I walk into the restaurant, and I just don't even want that kind of attention. They'll be the person to encourage you to wear it and be like, go ahead, put it on and let them stare. Or if you're like, yeah, I really want to try this business idea, but like it's super cringe to, you know, announce to my Facebook friends or like post on my Instagram that I'm starting a business, everyone's going to think it's weird. They'll be the person who's like, babe, you need to do that. Like who cares what they think? Like screw them, do what's good for you. So I do feel like they're very encouraging of you, and there's someone that, like I said, isn't really afraid, doesn't worry too much about what other people have to say or what other people think of things. And on that same note, they might be someone who's well-traveled, very adventurous, experienced a lot. They also might be very curious. They might be involved in like a fandom, or I feel like there's kind of this intellectual component to them where they might be like really into like, I don't know, a certain type of movie. Like I could almost see like old documentaries, or I don't know, like Cronenberg films, or something like really specific, you know, where they might be all excited about like, oh, this director, Pierre, he's releasing his next film. Let's go to the like independent theater on Tuesday and be there when it opens. And the last film he released was in 2014. So this is a big deal. Like they seem like someone who just knows a lot about a lot of stuff and like gets super excited, and it's kind of infectious. I feel like their energy. And then we also have the Six of Wands. I wasn't sure, honestly, because I was shuffling it in kind of a weird position, whether that came out reversed or not. So I'm gonna kind of use my intuition for that. But I do feel that you guys they might see you through social media for a while at first. I'm feeling like this person isn't probably the type to post on social media a lot. That's why I'm like, maybe it was supposed to be reversed, because it kind of came out like I was shuffling it a little bit upside down. Anyway, hard to describe, but I was like, I think that might have been supposed to be a reversal. And then I just feel like with their energy, I'm like, I don't think they're the type to be posting on social media all the time. And yeah, I feel like they're the type to be kind of private, or if they have social media, they might post about it once in a while, or post about like an interest they have, but they're not like obsessively checking like how many likes do I have, or like, let me take this selfie and I look really good for it. They might just be the type to like, yeah, they post stuff, but they don't really care, or it's just about their interests, or like they use it to look up memes, you know what I mean? Or they use it to get news, but it's not something that is where they're reliant on it all the time, I guess. And I do feel like they may discover you through social media, though. There is that option for you guys to meet that way. And for them to like see you on social media for a while and then like DM you or something like that. But yeah, let's get into some of these cards. So what can you tell me about pile two's next relationship? What's coming next in love? So we got the web weaver, synchronicity, divine intelligence, cause and effect. The diamond dreamer, material wealth, true prosperity, and the phoenix, resurrection, surrender to change. So if you guys have been in a stagnant energy for a while with your relationships, or if you have been hung up on an ex, this might really be a new start, a fresh beginning, and it might be something where it really takes your mind off it. It also could be that this person has reinvented themselves many times and has been through a lot of changes themselves. Could be that they have had like many different identities in life or past relationships that really meant a lot to them and kind of broke their heart, and that they had a hard time kind of getting over. And it could be that this relationship is what brings both of you back to life and really makes you guys like be like, oh, this is what it can be like, this is what it feels like, this is amazing. Like, I don't have to be hung up on an ex, or I don't have to be thinking about this person from my past. I feel like when you guys get together, it's just a really peaceful, easy feeling. Like, it's almost like you can trust this person right away. They don't do a lot of shady stuff. I don't feel like they would like leave you on red or try to do shady, underhanded things to get your attention or to get you to be into them. So they probably wouldn't do like negging or other stupid PUA techniques to try to get your attention. They'd probably be very honest and forthright and really like just straight up honest with you. Like, I don't feel like this person is like a big liar, you know what I mean? I feel like there's someone who kind of wears their heart on their sleeve and will be straightforward with you. And if they're like into you and they're pursuing you, you can kind of have a level of trust that they're not just running around town turning the charm on for absolutely everyone. Like, they genuinely are into you specifically, and their feelings are for you, and they probably don't even like everyone. Like, I feel like they're kind of picky and choosy about who they actually hang out with and who they're actually interested in. They're probably not like just trying to get attention from random strangers, because I don't feel like this person really cares that much about getting attention. It feels like they're a lot more authentic than that. And let me get a drink of water. But yeah, I think that, again, like I was saying, they may use gifts as their love language towards you. I feel like they really will love spoiling you. And then we got the diamond dreamer, material wealth, true prosperity. Also, because this person is so smart, I could definitely see them earning a lot of money. So they, like I said, might work in tech, or they might work in an industry that is very intelligent and has a high level of like an entry barrier. So like where you have to have a higher level degree, or you have to really know the subject, where there's just a lot of competition to start working in this field. So I feel like with them, they are, you know, they are financially in a good place. They're not like necessarily broke or really desperate for money or having to like borrow money from you. It feels like they are in a good place financially, most of them, and they're able to be generous. But one thing that I feel like I really like about this person, just me being a shallow Aries Venus, is I think this person is physically attractive. I think this person is like, they look good. I feel like it's funny because I don't feel like they have a super like traditional, it's not like they necessarily look like a beefcake, you know, or something like that. Or I guess if they're a girl, like just like a typical pinup model, but they have something really unique and cool about them. Kind of like how a lot of guys are talking about like, oh, I wish I had a goth girlfriend, which is just so funny to me. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just think it's funny. Like, because it's not, I guess, the traditional thing that we're taught that like guys are into, you know, like the bombshell. But like so many dudes talk about that. And by the same token, I think a lot of girls like the kind of like skinny, like gothy dude with like longer hair who like is unique and dresses unique. So even though it's not what both sexes get told, like, oh, everyone's into this, everyone wants the person who is like this like beefcake or bombshell, then actually a lot of people are into someone who looks a little different and has that kind of Aquarian willingness to step outside of the crowd. And that's why I said I get Aquarian vibes from them. So I feel like they're like a head turner. I feel like a lot of people would be drawn to this person and would find them really attractive, even though they don't really look like they necessarily fit in with everyone. And like a lot of people may even stare at this person in public. They might be like, who's that? Or they kind of look like way different. Like if you guys are in a small town, they might really stick out like a sore thumb, and people might be like, wow, this person is strange looking at times. But again, not in a bad way. I actually think they have a lot of sex appeal, and I feel like, you know, they just look almost like they would be from a big city, or they look like they're just so, like you want to do a double take. Like there's someone you might pass on the street and then turn back around just to be like, who was that? Wow, that person was really cool looking, but wow, you know? But yeah, like I feel like they look really good, but it's not in necessarily like a cookie cutter way that everyone else does. Let's get some song cards for pile number 1. I love these song cards. They just tell me so much. They're like some of my favorite cards to use. Okay, so we got God Only Knows, the Beach Boys, and that makes a lot of sense because I feel like the vibe with this person, again, I've been saying, but they're very sweet and they're very heartfelt, and they're not like a player or just someone that's just craving attention. I think that song is so like sweet and just so emotional and deep and genuine, and I really feel like there's a very deep love here. You're going to be able to trust this person. You're going to be able to relax around them. If you've been nervous or worried about like trusting or about being played in the past with this person, it's just going to feel a lot easier. It's going to feel like, oh, this is what it's like kind of like, oh, I can just breathe. This isn't so hard, you know? This is just like, I know this person's heart. I know that they mean it. I know they're not running around on me. I know they're not lying to my face and telling me, you know, that everything's good when they're talking to 15 other people. They just seem like someone you can really rely on and kind of melt into and trust and just relax with. Let me get some more cards for pile 1 about what's next in their love life. I'm closing my eyes so I can't see. Wait for me, Hall & Oates. Okay, and that's what I'm saying is I have been getting a 70s vibe for this person. And you know, they could look kind of like members of Hall & Oates or a combination of the two, but they might dress in that way. I mean, Hall & Oates had some definite style back in the day. They definitely had a cool way of dressing. So like I said, they might dress in like a 70s vibe or just a unique, like I feel like back in the 70s, a lot of men too, like they kind of had like more panache, I guess. Like they wanted to show off like their body, and they'd wear these really tight flared jeans with a tight t-shirt and then like a fur coat on top. You know what I mean? Like it was like, dang, this person is really turning themselves out and dressing up, and they're not afraid to get attention, and they're not afraid to get looks. And even like, of course, the glam rock guys back in the day would wear like crazy colors and high-heeled boots. I'm not saying they're going to be dressing like Elton John. That would be a little over the top. But they just might have like a really cool style that like actually looks really good. And again, people are like drawn to them like, oh, wow, but not really knowing what's going on, and like they just look very different. And they might be into a lot of bands from that era or into music from the past, movies from the past. They probably wouldn't, like if you ask them their favorite films, they probably wouldn't just be like, oh, the Marvel films or whatever is currently popular. It would probably be something that's a little bit more intellectual or a little bit different. Let's get into some more cards for pile number 1. What is their next, what's coming next in love? Fields of Gold, Sting. Another 70s band, The Police, which Sting was in. Okay, let's see. What is this? Every Little Kiss, Bruce Hornsby. I mean, so much of this music is like old music. It's so funny. And Bruce Hornsby is a perfect example of that vibe of like, he's not necessarily considered the coolest to some people, but if you know, you know, and he inspired like Bon Iver and stuff. So he's very underrated. Anyway, I just feel like that, yeah, this person and you, like, it's almost like this person's giving me a I want to say if you're in America. I know if you're not in America, it won't apply. But if you're in America, like an Americana vibe, like kind of like a little bit wholesome, hardworking, like almost vintage. Like this person seems like they're from a different era. You know, they seem like they're not the type to be like scrolling all day long and like obsessing over trends. They seem like the type who's really forthright and honest. And all this music, by the way, I just noticed it's all men who wrote these songs, and all of them are the actual writers. I mean, the Beach Boys wrote their own music, Hall & Oates wrote their own music, Sting, and then Bruce Hornsby. All of them are men that write love songs and write emotional music. So if you are interested in dating men, again, I feel like this is confirmation that this person really combines this kind of vulnerable side with this masculinity. It's not like they're too much of like a soft boy and too much like a disingenuous, like over the top, overly watery, like trying to act all sweet when they're not, like that kind of a thing. But they're also not too masculine in a way where it's like no water energy, no kind of softer side. It's a really nice balance of like how they carry themselves in a way that just, I feel like melds the two and is, like I said, very, very attractive. And of course, if you're a guy or anyone asking about a woman to date a woman, she just might have that very unique style that wouldn't necessarily be combining like masculinity, but she might be a throwback to like a 70s type of woman, like a Stevie Nicks vibe or something like that. Or like another, type 70s type of girl, like Joni Mitchell or something, like kind of that earthy quality that the 70s had, I guess. So let's get one more final song. I'm closing my eyes. So Hot You're Hurting My Feelings, Caroline Polachek, and All of Me Wants All of You, Sufjan Stevens. That one came out, but kind of slipped out. Another male singer-songwriter that writes about love, and is very deep and emotional about his feelings. So again, I love that vibe. If you're asking about a man, definitely this is going to be a really nice combo of that masculine energy with the emotional side. And then of course, double confirmation about how hot this person is. As I have been telling you, this person is very sexy, and I feel like they just have like a sexy, cool vibe about them. Like they're just a head turner. They're an attention getter. A lot of people are going to be drawn to this person and just think of them as like super different, cool, and not like the usual person. So yeah, I think that is what I have for you guys. Pile 1. Let me know how it resonates. I always love hearing from you guys in the comments. Love hearing how it resonated for you or what you think, how it, whether you could see yourself with this kind of person. So definitely let me know in the comments. Also, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, give this reading a like if it did resonate with you, and make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. Hit that little bell so you can find out as soon as I post next. And if you guys want to see more of my content, be sure to head to my Patreon. The link for that is underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description, so you can get access to over 55 additional readings from me. I just posted one all about what your family members and ancestors think of you, so that's a really good, deep, intense one. But as soon as you sign up, you get access to all my readings. So readings about love, career, 18+ readings, tipsy readings, spirituality readings, future life, past life readings, money readings. There's so many topics, over 55. So if you guys want more, then head to that link, like I said, underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description for my Patreon. And if you guys want to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. And you can sign up for a half-hour or a full hour-long session with me, have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel mediumship, or intuitively for you. You can do a year ahead reading, a love reading, career reading. You can just do an energy check-in, which I feel like is like the equivalent of the mechanic popping the hood of the car and poking around and being like, this should change. Okay, this is good. But anyway, if you want to get a reading with me, like I said, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back very soon again for another reading. So take care, guys, and I'll see you then. Bye. Hey, pile 2. So if you guys picked this fish stew, this is going to be your reading. You can see they did a lot of detailing on this fish, and they also have a little shrimp here, as well as a little octopus leg, and then underneath it's on some spaghetti noodles, as well as it's got some chives chopped up on the top. but they did a lot of great detailing on it and it looks super great. Anyways, guys, let's get into your cards. So you guys got Temperance, the Queen of Swords reversed, Eight of Cups, the Emperor, and the Eight of Wands. So this may be a little bit of a call out post for some of you guys, just saying that if it's been a while since you guys have had your last relationship, there may be a call for you that there's going to be a little transformation you're going through currently before your next relationship. So if you have been a little critical lately or just been feeling pessimistic about dating, there may be a call out that you're going to have to shift your mindset a little bit and kind of go into more of a feeling space, what feels good to you, and a little bit more open-minded or optimistic about it, because with the Queen of Swords reverse, it can just be an energy that's a little closed off, a little bit too judgmental, or someone who can be a little bit almost nitpicky, or someone who is, like I said, thinking too much with their logical mind, not leaving as much room for intuition or feelings or vibes. So that only will apply for some of you guys. Of course, take what resonates and leave the rest. But if it's been a while since you guys had your last date, or it's been a minute since you really were excited about dating someone, this could be a message for you guys to kind of get out of your comfort zone, start going out in public more, start getting out of the house a little bit more, start maybe just posting up at a little cafe and sipping, you know, a Negroni spritz or something, just to put yourself out there, or going to a coffee shop and having your cappuccino there instead of making it at home, but like allowing the magic to happen. Because I just feel with some of you guys, with this Queen of Swords reverse energy coming out next to Temperance, it may take a while otherwise for the right person to align. And there's also this message that you can date people just for fun. Not every single person has to be like your soulmate or your ultimate person. Sometimes we can be in relationships just for a good time and just to enjoy ourselves and just to like laugh and, you know, have fun in the moment. So again, take what resonates, leave the rest. If that doesn't apply to you and you're like, no, I think I'm super optimistic and happy with dating and my dating life is fun, then of course don't apply it. And then we can talk about some of the other cards as well. But I had to mention that right off the bat. We do have the Emperor coming down as well. So with the Emperor, after, depending on where you are in this energy, if you've already moved past this kind of energy that you need to fix and address, then you might be ready to meet your Emperor. So that could be someone who's very powerful, someone who is kind of has a Mars energy and Aries quality about them, who could be a little bit demanding, could be someone who is going to definitely be an exciting character, definitely probably has a lot going on. It could be very ambitious, could be very powerful, someone who might own their own business, or someone who might have a lot of wealth, have a lot of power in their life, and probably has an exciting lifestyle. They might be willing and wanting to like fly you around. They might be someone who is kind of demanding about who they date as well. It could be someone who's very picky and doesn't usually date most people, but they might take an interest in you and be very drawn to you in particular. But again, sometimes with the Emperor, you can veer too much into too demanding territory, someone who asks too much of you. But this definitely could be a business owner, an entrepreneur, a very financially ambitious or successful person, and someone who might, like I said, be super busy all the time, especially combined with the Eight of Wands coming out. So you and this person, when you guys are in a relationship, may have a very like busy and packed schedule. You guys might be like having, you know, drinks this night and then going out to a dinner the next night, and then you have a gala, and then you are, you know, working out together another night, and then you guys are going here and there, and everything is very packed. This person might even be busy enough where they have a very busy schedule, and sometimes it can be hard for you to get time to actually see them. So of course, take it how it resonates, if it seems true to you or not. But there may be, like, I feel like this person is ambitious, is a hustler, and really has some big goals they want to accomplish in life. They have some big dreams. They have things that they are trying to make happen. And sometimes it may be hard for you to find time to like actually meet up with this person. And this is where I kind of like the idea of you guys stepping out of a Queen of Swords reverse energy into being a little bit more open to maybe some water energy, some cups energy, or even some fire energy, and living a little bit more in the moment, or having more of an energy where you're just going with vibes and less with your logical mind. But I feel like this person is going to come in and be very like putting on their A game to date you. They're probably going to be someone who will take you out to like nice restaurants, want to really impress you, want to schmooze and like show you off and take you to really, really nice things. This person also, it feels like when they come in, they're not going to be playing a lot of games. They're not going to be trying to like pull one over on you or act like they're into you, but they're talking to that person. This person feels like they really know what they want. And when they like a person, they are going out and they are putting out all the stops, pulling out all the stops. So they are going to take you to the nicest place. They're going to probably dress up nicely, wear cologne, that kind of, or perfume, that kind of a thing. And really, sorry guys, I had to go pick up a delivery. But anyway, as I was saying, I feel like this person is going to tick a lot of your boxes. If you guys have had a list where you are really holding out for someone who is special or someone who has their act together, someone who is on time and treats you with respect and is going to really bring their A game, then this person might be it. Again, there is that sometimes warning with the Emperor, where sometimes they can be a little bit too demanding, or they can have very high standards for everyone in their life, and it can be a little exhausting. But let's get into some more cards and see what else we can expect from this next relationship, or what's coming next in pile. Ooh, we got the Queen of Wands. I love that. So like I was saying, this can definitely be a move into your more intuitive and your more living present in the moment side. So where you're going to be less in your head, you're going to be less overthinking and, you know, wondering if this person ticks off a certain list, and maybe just feeling yourself more. This relationship might make you very confident. And this is also an energy you can move into completely on your own, by the way. You don't need a man or a woman to make you move into this energy. So if you're like, no, the beginning part of this reading where I stayed single for a while sounds perfect to me, then you can still move into this Queen of Wands, or you can move into it with your Emperor. But you might be discovering a more sensual side of yourself, feeling more confident sexually, feeling like you just know when you walk into a room that you're stunning, heads are turning, that people are noticing you. If you're not in that energy already, then that's something your spirit guides want you to move into, and it's going to help you manifest and bring in this Emperor character. So it might be spending more time even on your physical appearance. Like if you are a woman, maybe putting on a little bit of makeup or dressing up in some way, but really starting to feel your sensual side and really consider how beautiful and powerful your sexuality is, and really starting to embrace that side of yourself and kind of feeling it in the moment. You know what I mean? So wands all live very much in the moment. They're not overthinkers. They're not an energy that's like, gee, should I do it? Let me like think about it for 5 days and get back to you. They're either going to be like yes, no, and it's usually very instantaneous and usually a very quick decision. They're very highly intuitive and highly emotional, so they make a lot of their decisions based on the emotions of the moment. They're not like big future planners and stuff like that. So this could be a message for you that maybe sometimes when you're living in your head when it comes to love, it's actually holding you back from some of these relationships, and you could start bringing in the kind of relationships you want by just being more present even within your body. So I always say this, that sometimes if you're like really trying to manifest a kind of overall sensual experience, the beauty of life, you want to step into that Venus energy. Venus is such strong second house energy, Taurus energy, and of course that's like good things in life, luxuries, good food, really good chocolate, really nice quality silk, buying like the high-end silk that feels really good against your skin, fragrances that smell good. All these things are Taurus energy. So there could be a message for you that by living a little bit more in the moment and actually feeling more of like this sensual, physically present type of vibe, then you will be able to manifest and bring this person in. So it could be something like going to, like you want some ice cream, but you're like, oh, I don't know if those fit into my macros, and actually going out and getting the ice cream and enjoying every bite of it and being present in the moment in that way. But there's a lot of different ways for us to tap into that beautiful Queen of Wands energy. She's so aware of her power. She's so aware of her sensuality and of her strength and of her appeal. She never is like insecure or questioning herself. And again, she doesn't live super much in her head where she's like overthinking things to death. So this is an energy I do feel like your guides want you to step into. And we also have the Page of Cups, which is also, I was saying, Queen of Swords isn't a lot of like cup energy or fire energy. And then we have these two cards coming out to say this is what you guys are going to be stepping into. So with the cup energy, the page of cups, again, that's someone that is, page is a younger energy. It's a little bit more immature, and it's a little bit of someone who's very present in the moment, not going to be a super long-term thinker. And with cups being emotions, it's someone who seeks out fun relationships. It's someone who seeks out pleasurable feelings, things that make them feel good, things that also cups energy can be things like poetry. And I mean, wands are great at creation as well, but cups love like poetry and music and anything artistic in nature. So again, tapping into all these things, I think is kind of like your pathway, where if you are a little bit frustrated of being single for a while, this can help you step into a more fun, sensual, and sexy energy that might bring in exactly the person you want. Because with the Emperor being such a powerful card, very top tier type of masculine energy in particular, I feel like Spirit is letting you know that you have the potential to date absolutely anyone you want and be a really top contender on the dating market. So if you wanted to date like the cutest guy, or the, you know, CEO of a major company, or the hottest girl, or whatever, you will have that as an option. That absolutely can be what you do, but it's kind of like we got to let go of this Queen of Swords reversed, overly critical, overly in their head, nitpicky quality, because I feel like that's what's holding you back. But I also feel like you guys are going to enjoy this period of being single, and Spirit is saying not to be afraid to seek out like shorter term relationships. I'm not saying you have to like hook up with anyone, but you know, you can go out for drinks with someone and not even do anything afterward. You know what I mean? You can be in like a short-term, fun, lighter-hearted relationship. You can flirt, you can go out and talk to different guys, you can like go out to the coffee shop and flirt with your barista. Of course, don't like be harassing them or anything like that, but you know what I mean, where you can make a fun, lighthearted, kind of exciting romantic experience for yourself in lots of different situations. Of course, always respecting others and their boundaries. But I just feel like a lot of you guys are being called to kind of have more fun, be a little bit more playful, and be a little bit more open to things. Maybe you're the type that like dates with intention. So like when you're dating, you kind of always have it in your head of like, okay, is this person serious? Could I be with them long term? And it's kind of like, why not just have fun in the meantime? Life is short. Why not just enjoy, appreciate, go out? And if you never end up marrying the person, that's okay, because at least you had a great experience, and then that will continue to bring that energy into that sector of your life, and there will be more opportunity for even more dates. So let's get into some more cards. Can you tell me what's coming next in pile two's love life? Wow, we got the Eagle King. So again, I almost feel like, though, you know what, for some of you guys, it could be that you're just so picky and choosy that like you're not going to settle for anyone except the Emperor and the Eagle King, because these are both super powerful cards within their respective decks. So for some of you guys, maybe you don't need to change a thing. Maybe you can continue being a little bit picky. I do feel like there is this call for you to be a little bit more open. That's what I'm feeling intuitively, is like some of you guys are just completely closed off, and it's really hard for the right person to come in. And maybe that's what you're stressed about, is like you're like, no, but I don't want to settle for someone who's like got a bad energy, or just, you know, isn't like what I want. I don't want to settle for that just because it's like, oh, I need to find someone. So maybe you're like, I don't mind being single, and that's totally cool. But I just feel like being a little bit more open, allowing the magic to flow, having more of a lighthearted attitude towards it. It's whenever you like are really obsessively clinging to some idea that like whatever it is will never happen. It's kind of like that phrase, a watched pot never boils. I always find too, like even the readings that I do where I'm like super easygoing, those are the ones where I'm like in a really good mood and I'm not super focused on the outcome. Those tend to be the ones that people like the most. And the more I'm like, oh, let me try to get everything perfect, the more people are like, oh, I don't really respond to this. So there's something about that energy in anything in life where the more you're like, oh, it's cool, no worries. And you're chill about it, and you are genuinely relaxed, and you're genuinely just doing it to enjoy and have fun and have a good time, the better the outcome. So maybe you guys could try going on dates just for fun, just to get some practice in, and just keep telling yourself, you know what, it's a fun short-term thing. It's like, it's one date, it's not a big deal. And that will allow you to get to this Eagle King, because I do feel like Emperor energy, because I feel like a lot of you guys in pile 2, you are going to be dating someone who is everything you want. If you've made like a little vision board with the kind of characteristics that this person you want them to have, rest, trust, and believe that you are going to get this person. Rest assured, you're not going to be left out to dry. You're not going to miss out on this person. You're going to get all those characteristics. But again, don't be afraid to date people in the meantime. Have fun with it, enjoy yourself in life, because that is going to be a part of the journey to align your energy with meeting this person. Let me get a drink of water. But yeah, I think the more you guys are willing to show, because wow, I didn't even notice I was so fixated on the Eagle King, but like, wow, we got the Shadow Queen and then the Queen of the Light. So 2 contrasting energies. And that's what I think is really interesting, is there's such like a transition, I think, happening, where maybe right now some of y'all are keeping yourselves in the shadows a little bit, not putting yourself out there. You might even be wearing clothing that like really covers yourself up, and like just be feeling really insecure and being like, I don't want to date, or like no one notices me. And Spirit's kind of like calling you out, like, is that like anyone else's fault, or are you deliberately hiding yourself away and then being like, oh my God, no one's asking me out. I'm not dating anyone. But you're not doing anything to date. You're not on dating apps. You're not trying. So there is an energy where you're going to be putting yourself out there more. You're going to be showing yourself more to the world. You're going to be engaging more in the world and actually like letting the magic flow around you. I always think, you know, when you're trying to bring something into your life, it's kind of like you gotta throw if you have a room full of stagnant air, like if there's nothing going on in a certain sector of your life, you gotta open all the windows and let the fresh air in, because it's kind of like an old attic room of your house that's like covered in dust. And if you want it to smell good, you gotta throw open all the windows and just allow some fresh like mountain air to pour in. And same with anything you're trying to bring in your life. If you're trying to do career stuff, if you're trying to do love stuff, you've got to allow it to flow in. So I feel like some of you guys, you're gonna be putting yourselves out there more, and that's gonna align you with the kind of powerful, strong-minded, and I feel like very top tier person. I feel like this is someone that, you know, they might really look good as well. They might be someone who really works on their fitness or just is very attractive overall. And this might be someone that, again, like I said, is very powerful, is very busy, and is looking for someone exactly like you. And you're just gonna have to get to a place where like you're very confident and you're very powerful. And sometimes that comes from experience, right? Like if it's your first date in 5 years, you're probably gonna be so nervous you could feel like you could like barf out the window, you know what I mean? Whereas if you've been on like a bunch of dates and all of them were fun and they went well, and a few weren't that great, but it's mostly been good, you're gonna go into that date super confident. So this might, even if you have to look at it that way as like preparation for your person, then just start like allowing that energy to flow more and be a little bit more open, date, flirt a little bit more than you have been doing, pile 2, because I really think that's gonna be key and crucial for you bringing in this energy that you want into your life. Let's get into some song cards for what's next in pile number 2's love life. White Mustang, Lana Del Rey. Wow, what a vibe of a song. I love that song. And I definitely think Lana has that like, and this song for sure has that kind of dreamy, feminine, ethereal quality. And you know, a lot of Lana's songs are about kind of getting hurt by love, or even like allowing yourself to getting hurt by love. Like a lot of her songs are kind of almost glamorizing those situations. And I'm not saying we should glamorize like hurtful situations, but sometimes when we're like too afraid of them, we can avoid actually experiencing life, you know? Sometimes it's like you gotta expect to like lose a few rounds in poker, you know what I mean? You gotta expect that like, okay, it's not gonna work out perfect, but I'll go on a few dates, I'll have some fun, I will be protective of myself still, but I'm gonna like allow this to take place. I'm going to allow myself to experience all of it. But there's a very dreamy quality about that song, and it always reminds me of the suburbs. So this could be even a future spouse whose energy is stepping forward with this Eagle King and the Emperor card, and you guys might have a really nice, beautiful, big house in the suburbs or something like that. This might be someone who is very successful and wants to wife you up quick and wants to get you like put a ring on it or whatever, or yeah, maybe if you're a guy, wants to make you their husband or vice versa. Anyway, so you guys might end up like having a 0 to 60 relationship where things move really quick. You both know what you want. Again, the Emperor is decisive. So this is probably someone who's going to come in knowing exactly what they want from you. And if you're it, then it makes sense that they would maybe want to get married or engaged quick, and they're not wasting any time. Let's get into some more cards. I'm not looking at any of these. So what is this? Now That I Found You, Carly Rae Jepsen. Exactly. This person, I said it before, right? And I didn't realize, maybe I was just straight up channeling when I said this, but I was like, they're looking for you. And then we have Now That I Found You. So I feel like, again, this person really is looking. I can feel, pile two, y'all are a bit of perfectionists. You guys are not like a super chaotic pile. You're someone who is probably very like precise and careful with how you live your life. And again, that's a reminder that that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just to be a little bit more open. It's, you know, there's no point in being perfect in like a private hidden room that no one can see you, right? I mean, keep doing your perfectionist thing, but maybe just open yourself up a little bit more. But this person might be looking for someone exactly like you. And it's just a matter of putting yourself out there, allowing yourself to circulate so you guys can actually find each other. But I feel like a lot of that perfectionism that you give off, some of you, like this person has that as well. So they're not necessarily going to be turned off or think it's a bad thing. So like, I'm not saying you have to completely change yourself. I just think being more open is a good thing. But like I said, they are definitely looking for someone like you. And let's get another card. God Only Knows, the Beach Boys. And Runaway, Kanye West. Storms, Fleetwood Mac. So there is that energy. Maybe sometimes in the past you guys have had some toxic relationships, and like I was saying with the Emperor, sometimes it can be someone who's a little bit too demanding. And we do have Runaway by Kanye, where he says the line like something about calling himself, or yeah, he's saying like stay away from the D-bags. And then we have Storms, Fleetwood Mac, which is kind of like a rocky relationship song. So there is that fear that for some of you guys, a next relationship could be with someone who's a little bit, again, too demanding. Someone who might be, even other people might call them a D-bag, you know, that might not be how they act towards you. This person can be like strong, demanding, which is definitely the energy of the Emperor, but it might be with you. They're really sweet, loving, and whatever. So take it how it resonates. It is a general reading, but I do feel like for a lot of you guys, maybe this is just past energies, past fears. Maybe it's times that you have dealt with people who have really broken your heart and really made you like very closed off, and you've been with people who have sometimes seen the worst in you or really not been very kind to you. And so now your like energy is just like closed off and not letting anyone else in. You might even think that like you're the problem, because in Storms she says, but never have I been a blue calm sea, I've always been a storm. So maybe some of you guys think like, I'm always like this, I'm dysfunctional in relationships, and deep down you have these feelings of inadequacy or like doubt in your ability to maintain a relationship. And I feel like there's a message from Spirit that you guys are more than enough, and you are more than capable of maintaining relationships. And in fact, you would be a dream partner for so many people. They would absolutely love to be with someone like you. So don't allow yourself to hold yourself back in fear or think, oh, I'm going to break someone's heart, or I'm too dysfunctional, I don't even want to try to date, like I'm just going to be alone, whatever. No, know that you are totally deserving of all the endless, beautiful abundance in this world. And if that's a relationship, if that's dating someone and that's what you want, then you should absolutely 100% go for it. But don't like have this fear mindset or this idea that, like I said, you're not good enough, or that you always bungle things, or, you know, I'm just like toxic in relationships. If you have any of that negative self-talk, you need to start talking back to yourself and being like, I'm amazing in relationships. I'm so fun in relationships. I'm going to find the right person. Love flows freely for me. And all those manifestations. Start changing how you speak about yourself, because I feel like pile 2, there's a little bit of an energy block in your romantic sector, but it's almost like something you could address so easily because, again, like I said, it's like what you have is amazing. So many people would want to date you. It's just a matter of you putting yourself out there more and allowing this to flow more. So yeah, I think that's what I have for you, pile 2. I hope it wasn't too heavy. I know it was a little different than how I expected, but felt like this message really wanted to come through for you guys. So I hope it resonated. Let me know if it did in the comments. I always love hearing from you, hearing your reactions, your thoughts, your stories, especially for a pile like this. I'm always curious as to like what this energy was. So definitely let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. Also, make sure to hit the like button, give this reading a thumbs up if it did resonate with you, and make sure to subscribe and turn those notifications on. Hit the little bell so you can find out as soon as I post next. And if you guys want to see more of my content, then be sure to head to my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. I just posted one all about what your family members and ancestors think of you. So it's a really deep one, but as soon as you sign up for my Patreon, you get access to all my additional readings. So over 55 additional readings about love, spirituality, career, 18 plus readings, tipsy readings, friends, family, future life, past lives, so many different topics, money, just so many topics, over 55 different topics to choose from. So if you guys want to join me over there on Patreon, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description for my Patreon. And if you guys want to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. And you can sign up for an hour-long reading or a half-hour-long reading. You can have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel mediumship or intuitively, and you can do a love reading, a career reading, just an energy check-in, which is kind of just like popping the hood of the car, poking around and seeing what's going on in there and seeing what needs to get fixed, changed, kind of like this reading did a little bit. So if you guys want to get any kind of reading with me, head to my link, briarrosetarot.com. The link is in my description if you guys want to get one of those with me. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back very soon again for another reading. Take care, guys, and I'll see you then. Bye. Hey, pile 3, welcome to your reading. So if you guys picked this veggie soup, this is going to be your reading. There's some corn as well as some mushrooms sliced nicely at the top, and then a nice little sprig of broccoli and some chives cut up. It looks super healthy and delicious. This would be a great like healing soup if you were sick or something. Anyways, guys, let's get into your cards. So you guys got the 6 of Pentacles reversed, the 2 of Cups, the Hierophant, 5 of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups. So with the 2 of Cups coming in, this could definitely be a really amazing relationship where you guys just feel a super deep soul connection. You might have that feeling of soulmates or knowing each other, where as soon as you meet, you're like, how do I know this person? I just feel like I know them so well. And it might be a really instant connection. You might also feel like you can just really open up to them. You might feel like you can tell them absolutely anything, and you can be vulnerable with them, and you can open up, and you can get really romantic, and they're not going to run away from it. They're not going to be weirded out by it. This person may be the Knight of Cups because it's the Court card we got. So this person could be a water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, and they might be someone who's very romantic. This would be someone who gives romantic gestures, who buys you flowers, who gets you chocolates, who remembers your birthday and holidays and gifts, wants to take you out to like nice meals, and is very romantic in nature, and also is charismatic and charming. They're probably someone who's good at relationships, someone who might have a good circle of friends or be close with their family, or just be good at like talking to people. They might also be good with like heavy emotions. Like if you were to cry in front of them, they're not going to be weirded out. Or if you were to be in a bad mood, they might be able to be like, hey babe, like what's going on? Let's talk this out. And just really calm, really understanding, and someone that you really feel, like I said, you can open up to, you can get vulnerable with, and like you guys both feel that really deep pull to each other. So honestly, these kinds of relationships, they can get very romantic very fast. They can be relationships where, you know, within days of meeting each other, you guys are like clearly dating, and you're no one's like, hey, do you want to come over and watch Netflix? And it's like this weird unspoken, like, I kind of like this person but I haven't made up my mind. You know, it's probably someone who, like I said, is very deeply romantic, and someone who really wants to go out of their way to make you know their feelings. They might also be someone who wants to talk about feelings right away, wants to kind of go there emotionally, isn't like afraid of like, oh gosh, it's way too early to talk about what we are, like let's just keep things chill. Usually the Knight of Cups is someone who's going to be, like I said, very charming, charismatic, and someone who wears their heart on their sleeve to a certain extent. So we do have 6 of Pentacles reversed and the 5 of Pentacles. So this is a really interesting combination of cards. And in this combination, it can sometimes indicate a little bit of financial differences, or that one person, honestly, just going to be fully honest, might not have as much money, or there might be a financial discrepancy where one person is paying for the other. And so hopefully it wouldn't be too jarring of an issue, but it did come up twice. So there may be something where like that creates a power dynamic, or it could be something you guys enjoy, but there may be one side that kind of feels like a little bit broke in comparison to the other. And if you're the type of person that wants to date someone who has a lot of money, it could be proof that this person may not have it like that. They might not be able to take you out to like the nicest place in town and like wine and dine you. But it's not to say that it's a permanent situation, especially if you're younger. You know, that's pretty normal to be like in your teens or 20s and not have like millions of dollars, right? That's pretty much the norm. So it may show that this person, it may not be like going out to the 5-star restaurants unless one side has money and is willing to pay for the other. But yeah, there is a little bit of that to mention, just because we got the 6 of Pentacles reversed and the 5 of Pentacles. So it's something that they might not be like splashing it out all over town, but you know, there's nothing like young love and the innocence and beauty of that. So if you're young, especially, like, who really cares? You know what I mean? But you know, depending on what your priorities are, some of you guys might not like that, but it does come through a little bit. The 5 of Pentacles can also kind of talk about just feeling a little bit left out in the cold, but considering how warm this person's energy is with the Knight of Cups, it might just be that this is like past relationships you've had, where maybe in the past you felt like people really didn't understand you or fully let you in, and this person comes through as a bit of a relief, like, oh wow, they really get me, they really understand me, and they're willing to like really talk these things through to me. Sometimes the Knight of Cups can also be overly charming or a little bit of a player. And maybe it's that like they're really good emotionally at a lot of times, where like they will be super warm and open to you when things are fun, but when things get really heavy and deep, they may run. Just speculating because of this combination of cards, and it's a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest. But I want to pull some more cards to get more detail as well. But these are just kind of the main energies I'm sensing. And you guys might meet in like a traditional fashion. You might meet at something like church or work, or in some kind of like almost non-crazy situation. Like if you were both, maybe you work different jobs, but you're always at the coffee shop at the same time in the mornings, and you notice each other, or something like that, or even through like a matchmaker or something like that. This person might also work in a very traditional job, a traditional field, and they might be someone who you know, has like a 9-to-5 and an office job, or something that, like I said, has a very traditional or predictable schedule. So they might be, you know, Monday through Friday in the office, and not like something crazy. They're not reinventing the wheel or working in a really avant-garde profession where they get to like make their own schedule or anything like that. Let's get into some more cards though for pile number 3. What can you tell me about pile 3's? What's next in life? We got the Hanged Man. So that's more Pisces energy, which is interesting because the Knight of Cups is a water sign. So Pisces, of course, it could be. Then we got the 9 of Swords, okay. What else is coming next in love? Queen of Swords reversed, and one final card. Three of Wands. So you guys definitely might travel together. You guys might explore the world together. This person might introduce you to like new cultures, different things. And this person, I'm feeling like they might be a really big dreamer. They might also teach you like to see the world in a very different or unique way. So it could be that in the past, like maybe, you know, maybe this even Hierophant energy could be your energy. You could be someone that, you know, sometimes like you're afraid to go too outside of certain bounds, or you don't want to stick out too much, or you're trying to like make your parents happy. And this is someone who might teach you to have a little bit more boldness and be unafraid to like stick out like a sore thumb. And like I said, with the Knight of Cups, you might be really amazed by how much charisma this person has. I feel like they're the kind of person who can like talk to anyone, get along with anyone. They probably are the type to like start a conversation with a random cashier in a store, or to, you know, just randomly get invited to like a party when you guys meet someone at a bar and they're like, hey, by the way, my friend's having his bachelorette party, you should come. And you're like, how did you become best friends with that man in like 20 minutes, and suddenly he's asking you to like go to like this really intimate party? But I feel like this person has that kind of charisma where they really get along with everyone. And I also feel like they have a lot of confidence. I feel like this is someone who, generally speaking, can like handle a lot of different social situations, can really think on their feet, really feels comfortable in different social settings and talking to people who may be even different from them. This person seems really cool with that. They might be someone who has a very diverse friend group, or might be like that person who has friend groups that like would never get along, or would completely be a contrast if they got stuck next to each other or invited to the same party, that they would be like, who the heck is this person? And their friend group just wouldn't mix super well, because I feel like this person can kind of hang with everyone. They just are good at managing that. They're just good at vibing with different people. They definitely feel very social to me. They might like to go out and socialize regularly. So they might be someone who goes out to like bars a couple times a week, or goes out a few times a month or whatever, but they don't seem to me like they're a super big homebody. And there might even be an energy of them wanting to bring you out of your shell, is what I'm sensing. For some of you, take what resonates and leave the rest, of course. But if you're someone who's like, oh yeah, I'm definitely a homebody, or I'm kind of an introvert, they might be someone that really pulls you out of your shell and really enjoys like getting you out there and like, come on, like, let's just come to the party. I'll introduce you. I'll stay with you the whole time. And like, we'll have a great time when we can leave, I promise. So with that Queen of Swords reverse, definitely if you're sometimes a little like, I don't even want to talk to anyone and I'm feeling a little closed off to this, it could be something that they are bringing you out of your shell and kind of like allowing you to have more of an exciting life in that kind of sense. Let's get into some of these cards. Spirit, what can you tell me about what is next in pile 3's life? So this is the prison wave. What I knew this was going to happen. I knew we were going to get another echoing of this and this, the 5 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles reversed. So again, I don't know what this is, but there's someone who has like limited mindsets to money, as this says poverty consciousness, which is kind of harsh, but anyway, but like there is, I don't know, there's some kind of cog in the wheel when it comes to money. So I don't know who this is. I don't want to like put any negativity out there, but there may be something with money. Maybe this person has money and you don't, and it makes you self-conscious. Or it could be that they don't have as much money as you would want them to have. Or if you're like the girl and you expect the guy to pay on dates, which is totally cool and awesome, but maybe it like may cause an issue somehow. Or maybe this person's like not into that or doesn't think he should have to pay, and you might be like, oh no sir, like you definitely do have to pay. I don't know how this is going to manifest for you guys, but it may be something that could come up in the relationship. I'm not saying that for everyone, but if especially, you know, with you, we can always work on our energy and aligning and fixing our energy first to get what we want. So if you're like, yeah, I don't really want to date someone who doesn't have it like that and is scraping by or just can't take me out to things I want, then maybe, you know, working on changing your beliefs to money, or adjusting your energy when it comes to that. This may be limited beliefs you have. It may be that this person is happy to be generous with you, but you're kind of like, oh, like I'm embarrassed, I don't have the kind of clothes I want or whatever. And I feel like there's a message underneath this that like real love, as long as someone's not being a lazy bum and like not doing anything, that real love kind of can supersede this kind of a thing. So if you're like insecure about how you look or anything, but you have a real connection with this person, then of course they're not going to care about it, and vice versa. So yeah, let me just get into some more cards. Who is the next person? And by the way, like if you're like, this does not sound like what I want, I do not want to date someone where there's a money issue in any way, shape, or form. I totally understand, and keep in mind, this is not the person you're going to end up with for the rest of your life and you have to be with them. If you're like, oh, like this is not what I want, keep in mind this could be someone you date or have a short-term relationship with, and then you're like, oh yeah, I don't like this vibe, and you don't talk to them ever again, So anyway, moving on, I do feel like one thing you really love about this person is they feel super non-judgmental to me. They feel like someone who just, honestly, you can tell them anything and they would be really like kind and warm and receptive. And I feel like they really like you for who you are. Like I'm feeling like they just showed me the image of someone laughing and kind of scrunching up their nose. And I feel like there's things you do, like small things like that they just find so cute. And it's really nice for you to kind of be loved by them and to be on the receiving end of that. Like I feel like this person is super thoughtful towards you. I feel like they would go out of their way to help you if you needed help with something. Like if you needed help with a move, they'd be happy to come over and help you pack. Or if you if you were like feeling sick, they'd come over with some chicken soup, which is really funny because I know I mentioned that this looks like a soup you would eat while you were sick. So that's perfect, just double confirmation. But they are the kind of person who really would go out of their way to help you and is very like aware of other people. Like they're very much, I feel like, a giver or maybe even an empath in their relationships, and they really take it to heart how you're feeling and would try to do whatever they could to make sure that you're happy. They're very lovey-dovey, and there's an innocence to this person's energy that I'm picking up on. That's why they may be younger. Like if you're really well off financially, it could just be that this person is younger than you and not in the same financial place. And if you're not well off financially, then this person may be perfectly financially set and in a great financial place. But honestly, their energy to me feels very young, sweethearted, pure-hearted, and like someone who is just like exactly the kind of person you want to come home to at the end of the night if you've had a rough, stressful day. Like they would just give you a soft place to land, probably be really nurturing, like maybe rub your back when you're stressed, or offer to give you like a little shoulder massage or something. Offer like, do you want me to, I know I have your mom's cookie recipe, should I just like mix that up for you and pop it in the oven, or whatever. But I feel like they would just really try to do whatever they could to help you out, make you feel better. And honestly, I feel like it's kind of really nice. You guys have a playful, sweet relationship, and it's like a load off your mind. It's very nice to know that you have someone you can talk to, that you can kind of tell things to, confide in, and that this person is genuinely kind and genuinely has your best interest at heart. So let's get into some of these cards, the song cards. I love these. So Spirit, what kind of songs sum up the vibe for Pile to what is next in their love life? Shades of Cool, Lana Del Rey. Okay. Call It What You Want, Taylor Swift. What does this say? Our Swords, Band of Horses. What is the vibe for this relationship for pile number 3? There Is a Light That Never Goes Out, The Smiths. And let's get one more. Now That I Found You, Carly Rae Jepsen. So you might find this person just really cool. The things they're into, the things they do, you might think it's just really cool and exciting. Like you might find that they have a cool aesthetic, a cool way of dressing themselves, that they carry themselves in a cool fashion. You might be very proud to be seen out with this person. And of course there is that vibe as well, like that happened with all Lana's songs and definitely with the video for this song. There may be a little bit of a financial difference, or it could be that you're used to dating guys that pay for a lot of things, and now you're with a guy that like doesn't really have the same amount of money, but you just feel so happy with him. Because I'm reminded, like I feel like that's the dichotomy in that I think, if I'm thinking of the right video, where she's like with this kind of like typical Lana Del Rey love interest, who's like this older wealthy guy, but then she's also, I think in this video, running around on the beach with that male model she did a bunch of videos with, and like definitely not that same vibe where, you know, the older man that she just seems kind of uninterested in. So it could be either one of those. I don't know why this money thing keeps coming up. It could be that this is someone that like pays for you, or it could be that younger pure relationship with someone your own age or younger than you, and there's not that financial incentive, but it's just a pure, happy, beautiful feeling and experiencing life to its fullest and having the most beautiful, happy love life, and just feeling like this person's almost like your best friend. Yeah, I feel like, you know, there may be even some, with call it what you want, you may sometimes have had friends who were like, oh, this person has to be exactly like this, or I would never date someone like that, and this person may be different in some way. Like I'm thinking back to that same thing, and it doesn't have to be this, but it could be something like that. Like you might have had friends that are like, oh, I would never date a dude who doesn't pay for stuff, which again, no judgment on my part, I'm just the messenger, I'm not taking any side. But maybe it's like you believed that too, but then you meet this person and you're like, yeah, he doesn't really pay for stuff, but I feel so happy and I'm just so joyful, and like it makes sense for him because he's younger and we're both younger, and it, you know, it's fine for me, and I don't care about the judgment. I don't care what this person says because I'm actually happy and I'm so in love. So again, it doesn't have to be that financial thing, although I feel like it just keeps coming up in this relationship for some reason, but it could be something that like there's judgment otherwise. Like, oh, I would never date a dude who like listens to country music and drives a truck and wears a cowboy hat, and then you find yourself falling in love with someone exactly like that and you're so happy. Or I would never date a dude from a big city who has tattoos and wears a leather jacket and whatever. And again, this is someone that maybe is not the norm for you to date, but you're so happy and you feel super in love, and it's like you don't care at all about any type of judgment or someone saying whatever. You're like, yep, keep judging from the side anyway, I'm happy. But yeah, I think honestly it feels to me like you're just really pleased to be with this person. And even when you're not around them, you might literally crave them. And you know, that makes sense a lot because we did get the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups can talk about a real soulmate connection. And it could say that sometimes when you guys fight with our swords, it's like very hard for you to fight with this person because you care about them so much that when you guys fight, it brings you to a very low point. And we do have the Nine of Swords. So it could be that there's so much passion and connection in this relationship that sometimes you find yourself acting out of character, or that you just can't believe that like you could feel this intensely about someone. You just can't believe that they could have you reaching such high highs and low lows, or just that like when you're not talking to them, you feel like you're like being deprived of oxygen practically. Like it's just so hard for you to not be around this person, and the love you guys have for each other is very, very deep. So yeah, I think this is a very primal, strong relationship. It's almost giving me like crazy summer love, but like the summer love that you remember for life. And I'm not saying it would only last for summer, or it would be over, or it has to be in summer, by the way. That's just the vibe. Could definitely happen in winter or whenever you're watching this, but I just feel that it's like this powerful magnetized pull you have to this person, and this feeling to a certain extent of coming home. And that's why it kind of gives me these soulmate vibes. Is I feel like it's almost like a sense of relief you have with them, or this sense of, now that I found you. That's actually the perfect song for that. Like, I can't believe that, yeah, this is my person, and like that we have each other. Let's get one more card for pile 3 for the vibe for your next relationship. Silver Springs, Fleetwood Mac, and that's definitely like a soulmate vibe song. Yeah, I love the lyric in that where she's like, you could be my silver spring, blue-green, colors flashing. I would be your only dream. Anyway, yeah, and I mean, obviously Lindsay and Stevie have like that super primal connection. I'm really glad to hear other people talking about this lately. I've been seeing on TikTok, and I was like, wow, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks like we need to talk about the Stevie and Lindsay relationship, because it's so crazy, it's so powerful and intense, and it's such a like prototypical twin flame soulmate thing. And I'm not saying it's perfect, I'm just definitely not, but I'm just saying like I'm glad to see that like other people are mentioning this relationship, because I don't understand why like it seemed to me when I first got into Fleetwood Mac that people didn't really talk about it, and I'm like, we need to, this is like a crazy thing happening, like we need to like mention this relationship, because it's just kind of fascinating, their like twin flame vibe that they have. But yeah, so you guys might have that kind of connection with this person. It just may feel very deep, very intense, and honestly, I feel like it's a very pure feeling you guys have, a very joyful, loving relationship. So anyways, I think that's what I have for you guys. Pile 3, I really hope it resonates. Let me know if it did in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys, love hearing your thoughts, stories, and reactions, whether you could see yourself with this person. So definitely let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. Also make sure to hit the like button, give this reading a thumbs up if it did resonate with you, and make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, turn on those notifications if you want to find out as soon as I post next. And if you guys want to see more of my readings, be sure to head to my Patreon, where I post all my additional readings. I just posted one all about what your family and ancestors think of you. So it's a really deep emotional one, but of course, as soon as you sign up, you get access to all my additional readings about love, 18+ readings, spirituality readings, tipsy readings, career, money, relocation, friends, future life, past lives, so many topics, over 55 different readings to choose from. So there's lots to go through. And if you want to join us over there, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description to join me on Patreon. And if you guys would like to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. You can sign up for a half-hour or a full hour-long session with me, have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel mediumship, or intuitively for you. You can have me do a love reading, a career reading, a year ahead reading, just an energy check-in, which is kind of like popping the hood of the car and just poking around and seeing what needs to be shifted or changed or swapped out, whatever. So anyway, if you want to get any of those readings, you can get them from me at my website, briarrosetarot.com, like I said, and the link is in my description for that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back very soon again for another reading. So take care, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hey Pile 4, welcome to your reading. So if you guys picked this little stew, this is going to be your reading. So you can see this is, I think, some salmon. It could be a chicken thing as well. This is a little oyster or clam. Then you have this little maybe daikon radish, and this could be some octopus cut up. I'm not sure what that is, but it all looks really, really good. And it's on top of some noodles and has got some chives cut up as well. It looks super realistic and delicious. Anyways, guys, let's get into your card. So you guys got the 3 of Cups, 4 of Pentacles reversed, 4 of Wands, the Emperor, and the Page of Swords. So with your next relationship, it's going to be a lot of fun. What is coming next for you in your love life is a relationship where you guys can go out, enjoy. This might be someone who really likes taking you out and spoiling you, taking you out for nights on the town, taking you out to eat at nice restaurants and that kind of a thing. They might really enjoy traveling and going to very nice upscale places. And this might be the kind of relationship where you don't have to worry too much about money or about paying for things, especially if you're the feminine in this relationship. If you're the feminine energy, then this might be with a more dominant masculine energy that wants to like financially take care of you, take care of things. And of course, this energy could be flipped. If you're like a masculine who wants to date a feminine, and this is, you could be on the other side of this, and this could just be a very feminine woman, and this is the vibe of your next relationship where you guys are going out to eat at nice places and taking care of her in that way. But honestly, there's a lot of fun in this relationship. We have the Three of Cups and then the Four of Wands, which are probably the biggest like party energies within the whole tarot. So you guys are going to have a really good time together. You guys are going to enjoy going out to functions. You guys might have a very big social network, or this person might introduce you to a lot of people. You might have a lot of friends and a very active social life together. A lot of invitations that you guys have coming in the mail for you guys, inviting you out to do different things. And again, especially if you're a feminine, the funny thing is, I feel like this relationship, you're not going to have to feel like you have to be kind of pulling teeth. This relationship feels really easy. We got the Four of Pentacles reversed, and sometimes the Four of Pentacles being reversed can kind of talk about rushing into something without too much of a foundation. So there could be a caution against just rushing in if something seems too good to be true, or if it doesn't seem like it's really built on solid ground. Of course, use your intuition and use your discernment to see how you feel, because of course, sometimes relationships can just happen really quickly, and you don't have to be nervous about it if like things just seem to unfold really fast, but sometimes that can be, a little bit of a red flag. So depending on how it resonates, always follow your energy over everything. But I do feel like this person and you, it's going to be an enjoyable, easy feeling. Like it's not going to feel like you guys are having to have all these really difficult discussions and talk things out and just slog through the building part of the relationship. The Four of Pentacles is kind of a cautious energy that's very like long-term focused. So this relationship, it just may not seem like this person's coming into it really nervous and trying to play it smart and trying to be very like forward thinking about what's going to happen next. It could be that like there's just this instant spark and things go from 0 to 60, and this person isn't cautious at all. They're ready to dive in. They feel the vibe with you right away, and it could be that before you know it, like things are just happening and you guys are just drawn to each other, and you guys are spending like lazy afternoons walking around the city and grabbing bagels and then heading back to his apartment. Or if you live in more of a suburban or rural setting, you guys are going for a long Friday afternoon drive and like going to your favorite local restaurant and having a really cozy day. But it just feels like it's, it's fun and it's that easiness. It's kind of like an easy summer romance. Although if you're watching this in the winter, it can totally still apply and just be a winter romance. But it's giving me that summer romance feeling of like easiness and fun and, staying up late and like catching fireflies together or something like that, or watching like a play in the park or something like that, that just feels super easy and not like you're having to push yourself. You know how sometimes, friendships or romantic relationships can feel like you're kind of pulling teeth. Like it's like, oh gosh, okay, I gotta have this conversation. We gotta meet up. Let me try to text them. Oh, they're not responding and I don't want to come on too strong. Oh, they're busy. Okay. Like, and there's that like working out issue where you're having to figure out their disposition and you're kind of having to work at it. And this might really stick out to you because of its easiness and because how it just seems to fall into place and happen without too much work and without you having to like really fight, to get you guys on the same page. It's like things just are flowing super easily. This person may have, and this is where I said, especially if this is if you're a feminine wanting to date a masculine, the masculine might really take on an authoritative role in this relationship, or a provider role, and be willing to pay or really take care of the feminine in this position, because we did get the Emperor. So it could be that the masculine is like, I really want to take care of you, and has that kind of provider mentality, or kind of wants to take care of you, pile 4, and really wants to look after you and make sure everything is nice, make sure everything is taken care of. And if you're a masculine watching, it could be that you're dating a feminine who really kind of wants you to take care of things for her, wants you to, plan the date in advance, wants you to like take her out to eat and kind of have everything taken care of, not necessarily where she'd have to like pick the place and then like, be trying to figure out how you guys are going to get there to the restaurant. Like she might really want you to take the lead on this. And if you're the feminine, it may be a guy who's happy to take the lead, happy to pick the restaurant, happy to order for you guys if you like that. But yeah, it's definitely, I feel like there is a masculine in this energy who is kind of the leader somewhat of this relationship. Of course, men and women lead in different ways. Women lead on more of the emotional, spiritual field, and then men on more of the physical plane with like money and financial stuff and physical strength and stuff like that. But they're both, of course, equally as necessary, hence the yin yang symbol being equal parts. But you know, they kind of might specialize in different lengths, so this might be a role or a vibe where the guy is definitely like a strong masculine in this. Then we have the Page of Swords, so the conversation might also easily flow, and this person could be an air sign, a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, and they could be someone who's very curious about the world. They could be very chatty, very sociable, someone who knows a lot of people, someone who has a big friend group and probably can like talk their way into anything. This person might even be involved in a field where they have to use their words to make their money. So they might be someone who is like in sales or gives a lot of presentations and speeches in front of their company, or has to really persuade people and be charismatic. They might even be in like communications or advertising or marketing. But this person might be very good at communication and good at handling conversations, good at managing tricky social situations, and very competent and good on their feet. I feel like this masculine energy, especially in this role, is someone who's very grounded, someone who really knows what they want in life and how to go after it. So if you are that masculine, you can just take it as a little compliment from me to you. But if you are feminine, that might be how this person is just someone who has their career in a good place, their head on straight, and I feel like kind of knows what they want. And again, is super charismatic, will be great with your parents, great with meeting your friends, and just really gets along well with a lot of people. So let me get into some of these cards, and then I might do more tarot. What does this one say? The Mapmaker of Destiny, authentic purpose, inspiration, free will. Okay. And we got the High Lord of Gratitude and Service, selflessness, humility, conscious action, and the High Lady of Love and Compassion, reverence, kindness, consideration. So it could be that there's an aspect of kind of like giving and charity to your relationship, where maybe both of you guys like to like donate to charities, or maybe you guys like to volunteer at the soup kitchen around Thanksgiving, or you do like a turkey trot around Thanksgiving that raises money for the needy. Or it could be that you guys just, both of you have a big heart, and there, even though you might like to go out and do the nice things and have a lot of fun and be social, that both of you guys are very charitable and focused on good causes. You guys might be working towards certain goals when it comes to like you're wanting to save the rainforest or work on ocean conservation, or like, I don't know, raise money for like a women's shelter or something like that. But there may be a like-mindedness that you guys have when it comes to, like I said, your life purposes and goals and your charitable causes. So yeah, I feel like you guys, you know, it's almost like you guys are a good social fit. You might come from similar social like groups or backgrounds or something like that, and have similar life goals, because it feels like you guys are very simpatico when it comes to those issues. Like there's not a lot of like hard discussions where it's like, I don't know what you're saying, or like, wait a minute, you want to retire at what age? Oh my God, that's crazy. Or wait, you love to vacation in the desert? I'm a mountain snow person, like, you know, where there's just a lot of disconnect and a lot of hard discussions or a lot of dissimilarities. Feels like you guys are really on the same page with a lot of long-term goals. So this could be a long-term connection. And we did get the Mapmaker of Destiny. So for some of you guys, there is a potential to marry this person or to be with them for a really long time, and for this to be a very integral, important part of your life, this relationship, this person, to really form a new part of your identity and your future because of the connection you guys have. And I feel like, again, when you guys sit down at the kitchen table in the morning, there's so much similarity. You probably both eat the same kind of breakfast in the morning. So it's like maybe you guys both like muesli. I think that's how you say it. I don't know if I'm mispronouncing it. But you know, muesli or granola with some like whole milk and some fruit on the side. Or you both like to eat like a very protein packed meal with some you know, granola, or not granola, eggs and bacon and like, I don't know, maybe a little small amount of fruit or some Greek yogurt or something. But like it's very protein focused and both of you guys share whatever this is. Like it's like you're not going to be like, wait, I'm a pancake person, you're an egg person. You know, like even the small things you guys have in common. And you might share similar hobbies like working out at the gym, or both of you guys love to canoe, or your idea of a great vacation is one where you can go on awesome hikes. I do feel like I keep seeing many active things in my mind, active activities like hiking, canoeing, exploring, zip lining. So this person might be quite physically active. They might be in really good shape. They might be very physically fit, and they might also be health conscious or health focused and do things like only eat organic or avoid GMOs or pesticides or stuff like that. So I feel like this person and you, like, it's almost like when you guys sit down to plan your future, like I said, it's easy. There's not too much of like arguing about like, but no, wait, I want this. No, wait, I want 5 kids. I don't want kids. Like there's none of that argumentation happening. It's very much like-minded, eye to eye. And you guys might have even grown up in similar backgrounds, similar families, similar social background, social structure, and all of that. You might have gone to similar schools, similar education. Yeah, so there's a lot of long-term potential here. And I feel like there are people within your social circle that are like so happy to see you guys together. You might get a lot of talk from like friends and family members of like, oh my gosh, you guys are perfect together, or from people in your social circle that are like, oh my God, we knew you guys would be we've been trying to set you up. Remember I kept mentioning that there's this guy, this is who I was talking about. I'm so glad you guys finally met. Like I knew you would hit it off. Or your parents just being like, oh, he's awesome. Like he's exactly who I wanted to see you with. So let me get some more cards for pile number 4. And this was the Justice card. I don't know if that was reversed or not. I'm going to read it upright. 6 of Pentacles. Okay, yeah, so more generosity from this person. They could be very financially generous with you. 9 of Swords. And the Knight of Wands. And so you guys might also be very attracted to each other. This person might find you to be very sexy, and you might find them to be very sexy and attractive as well. But there may be also that, you know, the thing about, I feel like the Knight of Wands is it's a very living in the moment card. It's very exciting. It likes to go out, to have fun, to enjoy, which is that same energy I was picking up on at the beginning with that 4 of Wands. And the 3 of Cups is like, the Knight of Wands really lives in the moment. It can be kind of impetuous and impulsive, but it's a really fun card. It's someone you would probably love to be next to at a party. They'd be great in a frat party or, you know, a sorority mixer, because there's someone who would be the life of the party and just know exactly how to make everyone laugh, how to make everyone comfortable, how to make everyone have a good time. So I feel like this person and you, like if you guys like to socialize, this is someone who will be on the same page as you. And if you're not really someone who likes to socialize, maybe they will get you to open up a little bit more and introduce you to some of their friends, and you might find yourself being like, you know what, actually this is a pretty good time and I'm enjoying myself, because I feel like they are considerate, and they kind of go out of their way to make sure you do feel included, and that it's not like an uncomfortable situation for you where you're like, wait, I just want to leave and I'm feeling like a wallflower. Like they would probably be very aware and emotionally like tuned into you, so they can make sure that you're feeling good and you're enjoying yourself. And like with the Justice card, again, to me in love readings, that can definitely represent marriage or some kind of legal contract. I used to work in family law, so maybe it's unromantic, but I still think of marriage as like a legal contract, because that's what it is. So you guys might be Possibly there is a possibility of marriage and even signing a prenup or stuff like that, but don't freak out, because you can get prenups that say all kinds of stuff, including protecting or giving alimony in advance or like child support in advance. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but if someone has a lot of assets, they might want a prenup, but it's, again, not a bad thing. But there may just be a legal aspect to it, in the sense of you guys getting married and signing legal papers of a marriage, the marriage certificate and everything. Or you guys even like opening a business together, aligning in that way, having a legal contract in that sense where, everything that is an asset is kind of a legal issue. Anyway, let's get into some of the song cards for pile number 4. What does this say? Bruises, chairlift. Okay. Can't Deny My Love, Brandon Flowers. Ooh. This Is What You Came For, Taylor Swift and Rihanna. Emotion, The Bee Gees. And 2 cards came out. Cardigan, Taylor Swift, and Harley's in Hawaii, Katy Perry. So again, with that travel aspect, that this person might really love to take you out on lavish trips or vacations. But what's interesting is, and I was kind of wondering about this when I saw the 9 of Swords, this is what came to mind, but it's nice to have it confirmed with other cards. But there may be a real healing aspect to this relationship, especially if you guys have felt standoffish or felt in the past like you were in relationships where you got disrespected, or like you had a lot of trauma from relationships, or like people really didn't treat you well. Can't Deny My Love. It's such a beautiful song, honestly. He wrote that about his wife, and I'm just like, to me, I guess maybe it's all the Pluto in my chart, but I just love the fact that he's talking about all her trauma and how he loves it. Like, it's so, to me, that's such a deep form of love. It's not just like the like happy-go-lucky part, but it's like that scorpionic like trauma work part. But anyway, there may be this aspect of this person seeing that you've been hurt, or you've had bad relationships, or even things you've gone through with family or other situations, and it being really a potential to heal. And you might be like kind of pressing them off or not interested in dating them at first, because you might be in an energy of running away from love, or feeling like, I don't want to get into this. I don't want to try anything because I have been so hurt. I've had my heart broken. I can't go through it again. Like, this is too much, and I'm running away. I'm not taking this on. I'm going to sabotage. And then this person comes in and is like, no way, I'm not letting you sabotage, and really kind of proves themselves to you and proves that they really do mean it. We did get Cardigan by Taylor Swift. And so the lyric to that is, what is it? When I felt like I was an old cardigan, you put me on and told me I was your favorite. And so, oh yeah, it's like, when I thought I was an old cardigan lying under your bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite, which is such a sweet lyric. She's so good at lyrics, like, I swear. That's why I'm always quoting her songs, is because she just does the lyrics so much better than everyone else. But yeah, I think that's like a really good metaphor for how we all feel sometimes, right? When someone like sees the real us after some trauma, or after people have been mean to us, it's always like a very healing experience to have someone really see you for you, see your beauty, see your potential, see all the good in you. And so there may be that vibe of this person really being persistent in trying to date you at first, where maybe you're like putting up a little bit of a wall, or you're like, I'm not, no thanks. And they just keep kind of like making overtures to you and trying to prove themselves to you, and being like, no, I'm not going away. Like, I really mean it. I do want to date you, and I'm not going to give up. And so, not in a creepy way, but they really might prove themselves to you. And then I feel like there may be a very healing energy come through after that. And they might see you as extremely beautiful. I mentioned that they're going to be probably highly attracted to you with this Knight of Wands, but we also got This Is What You Came For, and the other Taylor Swift lyric. That's why I always like quote her, because I swear she's so good at lyrics. I wasn't even remembering this was the Taylor Swift song. It's technically not. It's Rihanna and Calvin, but we all know Taylor wrote these lyrics. So it's and everybody's watching her, and she's looking at you. So I feel like this person feels so proud to be with you. They feel like everyone's staring at you. They feel like they're so lucky, and it's like they just want to kind of wave it from the rooftops or shout it from the rooftops like, I'm the one who got with pile number 4. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why they want to go out of their way and really show you an amazing time, really take you out to nice places, really kind of put on the Ritz, so to speak, maybe literally taking you to the Ritz in Paris or something like that. Really like just show you how much you mean to them and show everyone. And we did get Harleys in Hawaii, so again, I feel like there's that travel vibe, or this person really wanting to kind of give you an easier life. Like, it's almost like, I know things have been so hard, and now I want to show you how good it can be, and I want you to see how much fun you can have and how you can trust, and how it's not inevitable that you're going to get your heart broken or be treated badly, but actually you do deserve this beautiful, happy relationship. So I feel like this is the person who has this inner strength and this inner like resilience to be able to fight past, like, if you're at first a little scared, and I don't mean this, they'll be fighting past it in a creepy way, but that they might be persistent enough to be like, no, I know I feel so much with them, and I'm gonna keep trying, I'm gonna keep flirting, because I just know we'd be so good together. And I think I'm so drawn to pile number 4 that, like, I gotta keep giving it my all. And it was just 2222 on my little clock. So again, I feel like another confirmation of spirit with that angel number, and 2s in angel numbers of course mean relationships. So I do feel like this is going to be really meaningful, really amazing for you guys. And like I said, a little bit of a healing energy. It's almost like, oh, like maybe you've had people nitpick you in the past or see the negative in you, and I feel like it's going to be really amazing to be with someone that, where it's just easy, it's just like they see the best in you and it just kind of flows. So anyways, I think that's what I have for you, pile number 4. I really hope it resonated. Let me know if it did in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys, hearing your thoughts, your stories, your reactions, whether you think you could date someone like this, whether this is your type or not. So definitely let me know in the comments whether you claim this reading, whether this is your kind of person, or whether you prefer something else. Let me know. Also, make sure to give this reading a like, hit the thumbs up button if it did resonate with you, and make sure to subscribe and turn those notifications on, hit the little bell so you can find out as soon as I post next. And if you guys want to see more of my readings, be sure to head to my Patreon. The link for that is underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description. And if you guys sign up for my Patreon, you'll get access to all my additional readings. So over 55 additional readings. I just posted one all about what your family members and ancestors think of you. So that's a really deep one. And then as soon as you sign up, you get access to everything. So there's readings about love and career, travel, 18+ readings, tipsy readings, future life, past lives, spirituality, money. I mean, there's so many topics, over 55, so a lot. So if you guys would like to sign up for that, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description and join me over on Patreon. And if you guys want to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and you can sign up for an hour-long reading or a half-hour reading with me. You can have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel mediumship, or intuitively you can do a love reading, a career reading, a year ahead reading. You can just do an energy check-in where we kind of like energetically pop the hood of the car and tinker around and see what needs to be fixed or changed. So if you guys would like to get any kind of reading with me, like I said, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back very soon again for another reading. So take care, guys, and I will see you then. Bye.